Now, it's essential with any equipment that to remain effective, it's got to be maintained and looked after. What sort of things should you consider with equipment care then? Well, first of all, you should ensure that it's maintained as per the manufacturer's instructions. An authorised local dealer should be able to provide periodic maintenance and repair services so that to make sure that they're competent. So make sure you know who they are and are they competent to do it. Let's look at the various issues. Pumps. What should you do with pumps to ensure they remain serviceable? Well, after each use, you should perform the following checks. Carry out a visual check looking for obvious damage. You should check all levels, including fuel, hydraulic fluid and engine oil. Then you should make sure you place the fuel shut-off valve in the off or the closed position. Always turn them off or in the closed position. And finally, the couples that are there should be cleaned and checked to make sure they function correctly. Check the dust caps are put in place, put them back to protect the equipment. That's what you should do. And don't forget, these should be carried out after each use of the pump. What about hoses? Well, after each use, you should perform the following checks. Visually inspect for damage. You should be looking for, in particular, any cuts, abrasions or other damage to the outer jacket of the hose. Look for any kinks. Check the anti-kink springs. These anti-kink springs are supposed to stop it kinking. Make sure there's no kinks in there. You should also check that the couplings are clean and function correctly. Again, clean any dust caps and put them back on. Check the anti-kink springs are in place. Clean any contaminant from the hose as it may cause damage to them, so clean them. If you identify any hoses that are damaged, you must take out of service immediately. As you can see there, that hose there should be taken out of service. There's the anti-kink springs in operation. So what should you check with tools? Well, after you use, firstly, visually check them for any obvious damage, and the priority is the cutting blades. Make sure the blades are not damaged. Then you need to check things like the spreader tips and the ram grip head. Make sure it's not damaged. Then you check the control handle operation. Make sure it moves correctly and smoothly and does not stick due to being damaged or by anything getting inside there. Check the pigtail hoses for any signs of cuts or abrasions to the outer jacket, and again look for any kinks. Then again check the couplings to make sure they're clean and function correctly. Finally, as with all equipment, check the dust caps and put them back in place. And the other thing you need to remember is to ensure you leave the tools in a safe position. In other words, not under pressure. Never leave equipment under pressure. To do this with a spreader or combi tool, you should leave the tips slightly open. So although you do close them, leave them slightly open. With the rams, leave the plunger slightly extended, and the cutters, leave the tips overlapping. So don't completely close them because they're under tension.